This video is sponsored by EA. Hello again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a speed cast video for the very first time on the channel. Thank you so much to EA for sponsoring today's video, and today we're going to be ticking off our fourth bucket list item from Grimm, which is creating a pair of Sims who represent life and death. And I decided to create twin sisters. They're both vampires, and we kind of have like a bad vampire and a good vampire. Look, I don't spend much time in CAS at all, so this probably isn't very advanced. I'm going to be completely honest. I think I was really lucky with the sim that I actually managed to roll to kind of base the sim, like this sim, off of. Speaking of which, her name is Claudia Everald. So these are the Everald sisters. They're both vampires, as I was saying. So this is the bad vampire, quote unquote. She does have the evil trait as well as the romantic trait. And she's a quick learner as well, so that comes as part of like her life aspiration. But I absolutely adore how these two sisters turned out, considering that I don't spend any time in CAS ever. I was actually pleasantly surprised with how good these two came out, and it gave me that little bit of confidence to perhaps try create a sim just a little bit more. And I did speak about this in my previous video, which I will link in the top right hand corner for you. That was our third Grimm bucket list item video, and I said that this kind of challenge situation really has opened up and just made me feel so much more confident with my content and my abilities, because I would never dream in a million years of creating two Sims. And the fun fact, the next video as well is a create a sim video. We're actually going to be creating a family who look like they would work for the Grim Reaper, so that's going to be really exciting. That's going to be releasing this week as well, but I really hope you enjoy this. These lovely ladies are available to download from the gallery under my origin ID, which is RachelPedd. But as you can see, we're just kind of shaping a Claudia here. I love her so much. She's so sassy. She's the kind of woman that you wouldn't want to mess with, but you would probably want to be best friends with her as well. I didn't really give too much thought into, this is going to sound really bad, like their personalities and how they might interact with other Sims in the world. Again, look, I'm not a creator sim girly. I'm stepping way outside of my comfort zone with this, and I'm just so thrilled that these two ended up looking so good. So yeah, I didn't really give it too much thought. I feel like if I were to play with them like in a save or kind of play out their lives a little bit more, I would gain a little bit more understanding about like who they are as Sims and their likes and their dislikes and such. But yeah, I did make them both vampires. I love occult Sims. I've said this before, I think sporadically on the channel when I perhaps have touched upon kind of CAS just in general. I do love occult Sims, so it just seemed kind of fitting for me to create these as vampires. It made the most sense, and I also feel like it would opt for some really interesting gameplay for you all as well if you do decide to download these Sims from the gallery. But yeah, I've used a little bit of custom content as well. I have like a default skin installed. I have default eyes. These lovely eyelashes are also custom content. I'll do my best to link them down in the description box below. Anything that I've used that is custom content, the hair, the clothes, and some of like the skin details, such as like the scarring and the brows and kind of like the detailing around the mouth, etc. That's all from just the Sims. Like that's not custom content at all. So it was really important for me to use as little CC as possible. However, I did think that it was just kind of important to use a bit of CC as well. If I ever make Sims, and this is an if, it's a very big if because I don't do it very often. If and when I make Sims, I do use default skin, default eyes, eyelashes, and things like that. But yeah, the clothing, the nails, the hair, the accessories, like the earrings and such, the makeup, that's all from just the game itself. So I just wanted to make that disclaimer in case you were interested in downloading these amazing Sims from the gallery. But yeah, I did struggle just a little bit with like hot weather clothing, cold weather clothing, because I was thinking, well, what would like a sassy evil vampire wear out in the sun? And I tried to cover her up as much as possible because obviously vampires burn in the sun, so I wanted to try and cover her up as much as possible. And then with the cold weather attire, I think she looks so sassy and so good. I just tried to keep her kind of in character with all of the clothing that I was using. But again, look, I'm not a creator sim person, so I do think this is perhaps a little bit tame. If you're into creator sim, you're probably thinking, oh, you're not very adventurous, Rach. You're absolutely right, I'm 100% not, but I'm gaining in confidence. So if this is a video that you enjoy, then please do let me know, and I will try and kind of interweave some creator sim into the channel next year. I'm always trying to come up with new video ideas and new content, and content that I'm going to enjoy and content that you are all going to enjoy as well. So if this is something that is interesting to you, then please do let me know, and I'll try and think of a way to kind of, you know, put it into the channel. So yeah, please do let me know. But anyway, yes, we are almost done with Claudia, and then we do move on to her twin sister, Lucinda, who is the polar opposite. And I did use like the inbuilt genetic system in the game as well to create her twin sister, and I just tweaked her ever so slightly. I didn't want them to look like exact replicas of one another because I don't think that would... First of all, it's not very realistic. Even though they're vampires, I wanted to kind of add a sense of realism to these Sims, so it's not very realistic to make them look identical, like identical, although I do think they are identical twins. So Lucinda has a much softer approach. She isn't an obvious vampire other than her fangs, and I made sure that her fangs were just on the top row of teeth rather than the top and the bottom, as opposed to her sister Claudia, who has the teeth on the top and the bottom. So she's a vampire. I don't think you would really know unless you saw her smile, and like the color of her skin's a little bit grayish as well, just like her sister. That was really important to me, and again, probably quite stereotypical in terms of her being a vampire, but yeah, she's got a much softer look, and she is so pretty. Like I adore how she turned out, genuinely. And out of the two, I thought I was going to fall in love with Claudia, but Lucinda, she's got a really special place in my heart. So she is socially awkward, she's a love bug, and she's a good sim, and her aspiration in life is to be a collector. So I think that's the aspiration that came with Crystal Creations, the stuff pack. So it just seemed really relevant. I feel like she's the kind of vampire who doesn't drink sim blood. She drinks plasma. Like, if they drink plasma, is that technically them drinking blood? I know they're not drinking it from the neck, but like obviously plasma's still blood. I feel like she hates the fact that she's a vampire because she's too good of a sim, but she has to kind of understand that she's a vampire in order to survive. But she's definitely got a much softer look compared to her sister. That was kind of the whole point of the video. When I was tasked with the 5 videos, I had a lot of input into what I wanted to do, and I did say, they said to me, they did say to me, look, try some different things. So that's why I did like 3 build videos and then 2 cast videos, because cast isn't something that I'm too comfortable with. So I was like, right, okay, let's do some casts and let's just see how it turns out. And honestly, my confidence has just gone through the roof with my cast skills. And look, I know that the default skin and the eyes and like the nice makeup and like the eyelashes and stuff did most of the work for me, and I was really lucky, as I said at the beginning, to get a base sim that I could just kind of not really have to change too much. So I'm getting there, I'm trying, and that's the main thing. But yeah, the whole brief was to create like a life sim and a death sim. So I thought, let's create twin sisters vampires. We've got like a good vampire and we've got a bad vampire. I just thought that worked so well with the theme, and it means that we can play with some occults, etc. But you'll see that Lucinda's wardrobe is polar opposite to Claudia's. It's very soft. There's pops of white and cream, and like I said, her entire appearance, is just completely different to Claudia's, and that was the main goal. But I've honestly fallen in love with Lucinda. I think she is such a sweetie pie. Does she have a bit of an edge? Probably, with her being a vampire. Just generally, she probably has a bit of an edge. However, I don't think she's as scary as her sister Claudia, which was kind of the whole point. But yes, that is pretty much it for this video. So I really hope you enjoyed this one, everyone. Again, if you have enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try and interweave some CAS videos into the channel next year somehow, and maybe kind of try and link some build videos, etc. But yes, thank you so much again to EA for sponsoring today's video. I can't wait for you to all see video number 5, which will be the very last item from our Grim Reaper bucket list. So I'm very excited. But yes, they are available to download from the gallery as well under my Origin ID, which is RachelPedd. Please make sure to check the custom content box because they do use some custom content. But yes, thank you so much again, everyone, for joining me here today. You all take care, and I will see you again next time. Bye.